We are part of the universe. We are connected with our environment. Just take a breath and feel how oxygen passes through your nose onto your chest and lungs. Going beyond, we can go to the sea and see the ocean, and there we can learn about geography, see the waves and learn about physics, light, or even chemistry. We can see a bird flying over a starry night and let us be inspired for it. We learn and dialogue with our surroundings. We are connected with our environment, with each other. So, how we as educators foster these complex dialogues on a virtual space? How we can enable that interaction in our virtual classes? We cannot ignore the importance that has our body when we walk through a space, or even the potential that resides in the interaction with objects around. But what happens if we can draw our own space under virtuality? What if we can imagine and create our possibilities that are in our minds and be connected again? What happens if we find a way to express ourselves in multiple ways, forms, and figures in the metaverse? So, let me introduce you to GatherTown. GatherTown is a meeting space to foster these complex dialogues. So, here we are, and we enter with our avatar. We can edit our avatar, and we can edit, for example, the color of our skin, the color of our hair, our cut. We can represent our gender or even reflect our identity with this avatar. So be free to enjoy and see what happens if you choose different avatars for different spaces. You can turn on your video or your microphone. Here you are your devices and you can choose to use it, and let's go and join to GatherTown. Here we are in our space, and now we can build that space with multiple tools. We have different objects that we can put in our space, and here resides the power of GatherTown, because we can attach documents, videos, or even other meetings in those objects. So we are going to select a document and we can link it to one document that we have and share it together, do a job in groups, in pairs, and even we can interact with all the different objects that we have and share our screen, share our sound. GatherZone has multiple channels that enable us to communicate, so we can react and share, for example, an emoji, or we can use the chat box, and we are able to use that chat box even if we are not connected at the moment, and we can go back and see what happened on the chat. We can send an invitation for email or even copy the link and send it to different platforms if we are doing an event. But if you want to go beyond, you can customize your own space. You can create the walls, the floor, the objects, the collisions. Even you can create some spaces that are in purple, that are the private rooms that are amazing for groups that you can do in your class. But don't worry, GatherTown also has a lot of spaces by default. So now we're going to create our own music in this piano. So GatherTown is a powerful tool that we even can create our own music for example, a music class or an art classes, or even imagine all the possibilities that we can do with people that have visual impairment or people that probably has some auditive empowerment as well, because GatherTown has the possibility that has different communicative channels that we can use to communicate with each other to create a constructivism education. For this reason, I went beyond and I tested the platform with my peers. I developed a workshop about language and creativity where we interact with each other and with the platform in different ways and languages. With GatherTown, we can interact with the virtual space, learn through our virtual body, and with different communicative channels that enable our creativity. Carry on our ideas to a social space to build and create together in dialogue.